When I first founded Indo US Organization for Rare Diseases, the vision was to bridge nations, US and India, for empowering rare lives. What I observed over the last 12 to 14 years as a rare dad and patient advocate is a lot of the innovation and progress in the field of rare diseases and orphan drug development were restricted to national boundaries. US is the largest funder of biomedical research in the world, and India has the largest population of patients and burden in the world. These can't be working in silos if we have to achieve the progress and innovation that we need. For several rare genetic diseases, especially ultra rare, there is not enough patients to recruit from in any one country. We have to be global and be inclusive and look at a disease and not at countries. And I did not see any organization set up to address the cross-border collaboration aspects. Two countries at a time, we can expand the impact. When US and India collaborate, whole world benefits, all patients benefit. It is with that mindset I had originally founded Indo US Rare. So we at Indo US Organization for Rare Diseases, we measure impact in how many patients we touch, how many rare diseases and patient organizations we have collaborated with and make an impact. We look at it like layers of the onion. The outermost layer is what's the mass outreach, articles, educational articles, blogs. Hundreds of them have been written in the last 5 years. Millions of people and patients have been touched. Now, from a very specificity point of view, we have 60 patient alliance members, which are non-profit organizations that are focused on specific rare diseases for providing patient support services. 60 members organizations. On corporate alliance side, we have 6 industry members who are part of our corporate alliance working closely to build, get to the access to the other side. Companies from India, companies from US. The key challenge I see is the mindset of individuals, that they restrict their own thinking and they feel like it's not possible or it's not doable because of assumptions and their inherent implicit bias. I think if we can be more open-minded and have the ability to think out of the box and be willing to learn from the other stakeholders, doctors being more willing to listen to the patient advocates being willing to listen to the pharmaceutical industry and their expectation requirements. In addition to it's ultimately everybody has to win. The opportunities are enormous. Challenges and problems are all over in the rare disease space, right? So there's a number of problems begging to be solved. The opportunity that I see as a scientist, there is advanced therapies like cell and gene therapies, antisense oligonucleotide therapies. Repurposing of drugs is a huge opportunity. There's many drugs sitting on the shelf begging to be repurposed for some disease that nobody has yet discovered. Despite so much advances in genome sequencing technologies, we have not yet scratched the surface even, because we are not doing newborn screening everywhere. We are not applying the genome sequencing technologies to look for genetic diseases even when there is reason to do so, let alone sequencing every other individual that's born. And there is diagnosis still takes 5 to 7 years despite all these advances, which is just not acceptable when these technologies are at our disposal and the healthcare ecosystem needs to utilize them for all people so that they can get that faster diagnosis. I think there is still underappreciation about what's the need to diagnose a disease if it's not treatable. It's waste of time and money. We have to break that mindset. There are several hundreds of rare diseases that are already treatable, and it's just not acceptable that the whole healthcare system has to bear the burden of having patients born and undiagnosed with that known indications, which are even easily treatable, such as PKU or the congenital adrenal hyperplasia and so on, right? So these types of diseases have to be absolutely screened. And there are universal screening panels in the United States, for example, with over 70 diseases now in that panel. In India, we still have like 3 states that do newborn screening at some limited impact. Why can't we have a national newborn screening program which encourages, if not make it absolutely mandatory, at least offer them in healthcare system? Forget about the babies born at homes. At least every baby that's born in government or private hospital should be required to have newborn screening. I think that would be a great first step to begin with. 4 areas of to focus on for 2027 as a goal, and one of them is have an outreach to at least 300 million Indians in the next 3 years. And I think that's an achievable goal. How we measure that outreach to 300 million people is to be defined, but it's achievable. And two, I think there is opportunity for getting India involved in manufacturing. India has actually developed CAR-T cell gene therapy for leukemia and B-cell lymphoma from IIT Bombay. They have achieved this in collaboration with the National Cancer Institute. Having this access to innovative technology and the cost effectiveness and the nimbleness of the Indian advantage has helped us reduce the cost of CAR-T cell gene therapy by 90%. I think that's what we are most excited about. As Indo US Rare, we want to see success stories like this coming out of US India collaborating, but also with all other countries and cross-border. I think without cross-border collaborations, success will be very limited and slow.